Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities may be available for today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. I'm going to start off here on the daily. As always, on the top is EU, on the bottom is DXY. Now we're coming into a new month this week, so a lot of news to watch out for. So as you can see here over the next few days, so just keep an eye on those when you're executing. Alright, so what's the daily showing us? Well, yesterday, clearly bearish, right? Very bearish. We took the previous daily high and went very bearish from there. Then obviously we took some sell side liquidity, right, from down here, and we pulled up slightly before the end of the day. So buy side liquidity taken, massive bearish movement, seeking out sell side liquidity. And as I'd mentioned, we've got within a further discount within this leg here, another imbalance, so possibly price is pushing towards that imbalance. And then on our inverse DXY, we had a bullish day, closed out more of a doji, right? Sell side liquidity taken, buy side liquidity taken, pullback, but that's because we had this imbalance still to fill, right? So we've mitigated this imbalance more finally, about to 50%. There's still more room to go with an order block here, and we may fill that imbalance, and we also have a further premium imbalance above, which price may get drawn into, right? So at least DXY is moving now after all of this consolidation when EU was moving and it wasn't. So far, previous daily highs and lows are far away from price, obviously because of the large candle. So sell side and buy side liquidity still intact above and beneath those. So not much more to discuss on the daily, right? We've gone through the previous weekly low, if I forgot to mention that, and previous weekly high on DXY. So let's move on to the 4 hour and see what that's showing us. So on the 4 hour now, we have this new bearish leg to work within, right? We had this previous leg from like up here to down here. We was pulling back very correctively, filled that 4 hour imbalance, swept another internal high, I believe, or no, this was the equal highs, right? Failed to break that internal high, broke down, very bearish, okay, after taking the buy side liquidity above this high. Had a very bearish day, made a lower low below this low, right? So once we broke this low here, after pulling back to almost a premium or just within a premium, we then created a new lower low, right? So we've got a new high to a low there. So I count this as a new leg to work within. So that's why I've got this here to show the premium and discount. But within the discount of this 4 hour leg now, of course, we left behind imbalance and order block above. Maybe we'll revisit that at a later date, but this is the leg I'm going to concentrate on. Okay, so after price had this massive bearish move, we took sell side liquidity from below these lows, right? So that for the next 4 hours of the day closed out as a bullish candle. You can see that pullback there from that sell side liquidity, and we closed bullish. We left behind a small imbalance, so overnight we've had sort of sideways range, and we've come up somewhat and taken buy side liquidity internally. Let me zoom in a bit. So internally above these highs, we've taken that buy side liquidity already today. Okay, so zoomed in on this leg now. We've still got some imbalance. Price may want to pull back towards a premium, right? We have a premium imbalance with an order block there. So we'll see if price is going to head, bullish today, possibly to come back to a premium, or if it's still got some bearish momentum to continue going lower, right, to take the sell side liquidity below these lows and maybe move towards that daily imbalance. So if I stay zoomed out for a moment, for DXY you can see we've gone into this 4 hour imbalance now as well. Okay, we've not completely filled it, we've got a small imbalance above it with an order block. So directionally on DXY as well, we may have room to continue bullish, which means bearish price action on EU. So I hope that's clear. Hope I'm not speaking too quickly. However, at this time being, right, we've created this new bullish structural leg here. Okay, so we've got this high, low, high up here, right, above the previous weekly high. But of course, we've taken plenty of buy side liquidity above there, mitigating this imbalance as well. So we've left behind that imbalance the same way as we have up here in the premium. Price may be drawn down towards a discount. So it's the same as above with EU. Are we going to get drawn more to a premium, right, more up into this area here, or at least to this area? And then with DXY we may get drawn towards that discount as well. We shall see. At the moment, we're kind of finding our feet here within this discount. Price is consolidated somewhat, so it needs to pick its direction, or we'll get some hints to the direction on the lower time frame and see which way that structure is moving. So right now on the 4 hour, I don't have like a clear bias in terms of direction. We have our bearish leg and we are in a discount, so preferably, you know, we would want to move towards a premium, seek out some buy side liquidity, something to mitigate before heading lower if that's its intention. So I'd have my preference to go higher in price from a discount where we recently took sell side liquidity on our side. But of course, internally we may take buy side liquidity and for the session continue bearish. We never know. We are quite close to our previous daily high here on DXY, as you can see. So if DXY takes that buy side liquidity here, right, it may want to move bullish until then, take the buy side liquidity, then move down. Okay, so we'll see what it shows on the lower time frame. This isn't moving live at the moment, so let's go down to the 1 hour and see what that's showing us. So what do we have here on the hourly? Well, let me explain again. We can see that clear bearish leg, right? So same as the 4 hour leg, you can see where we swept these internal highs here, right? Created equal highs but failed to make a new high. So we came for this sell side liquidity trend line there, right? It was very obvious build up of corrective price action, filled up a POI, and then swept some buy side liquidity, and then we broke down with a lot of momentum. Now we're in the discount of this leg. We do have this 1 hour POI here with order block, right? So price has correctively sort of started moving towards that. Will we fill this imbalance here, or is this internal buy side liquidity we seem to have just swept enough to continue lower, at least for the session, or maybe for this sell side liquidity here? Okay, so that's what we'd be battling with. I think everything's fairly clear. We took sell side liquidity on the higher time frame, but the reaction from that and overnight into Asia, we can't see yet if there's going to be much momentum from there. Right, London has opened, but we still don't have loads of bullish momentum. We have taken buy side liquidity and price seems to be withdrawing from that. So we need to see and be patient where price action is going to go. Right, I'm wary of filling this imbalance here and then going long into that area, but we are in a discount, so I'd prefer to go long if the opportunity is there. But if structure after sweeping this buy side liquidity is to go short and shows that by breaking the structural lows internally here, I'll be willing to go short depending on the negatives. For the 1 hour, I do think it's lovely to see how price does this, right? Builds up these liquidities on both sides, sweeps internal buy side liquidity, and then breaks down, taking all of this trend line out. Right, so it's a good example there to see fresh new bearish leg. We've taken sell side liquidity, pulled back somewhat, creating a range, and then now into today's session for us day traders, we're just going to see what price does with this buy side liquidity. Do we want to head higher to fill this gap or go to a premium, or are we going to break down from this internal buy side liquidity here and continue lower possibly, right? We do have a good case for pulling back to a premium because that's how price likes to move, especially after taking some sell side liquidity on a high time frame. Same with DXY, clear bullish leg here. There's some divergence, so we've taken some buy side liquidity here as well by the looks of it. Okay, may send price lower. We've got POIs around this area as well, just like EU has, right? We may want to come and fill this imbalance here completely into this order block, but we don't have to. And then there's the further premium imbalance there that may draw price. So we're going to see how DXY is reacting from above these highs here. Okay, it still has that previous daily high that it may want to come and sweep, but we'll see. We're 27 minutes left of this candle. Buy side liquidity here seems to be having a good effect on it. We're moving bearish on DXY, though there's a bit of an imbalance here, so we'll see how that goes. So moving from a premium to a discount possibly, and moving from a discount to a premium is the possible scenario we're watching out for. Is this buy side liquidity here going to send price lower, right? DXY has pulled back internally and mostly filled this imbalance here on the 1 hour. Maybe it's going to have that bullish move from here. The candle is painting very bearish at the moment. We can't jump our guns yet, but maybe it'll fill this and go bullish, heading for that previous daily high. Right, so maybe that will be the move, which if we include the buy side liquidity above here and this imbalance fill, it may give DXY that bullish move, which allows us to get that bearish move. That's what I'm seeing. My preference is obviously from a discount, if we can get some sort of bullish move to pull back to a premium, then I'd look for that, but I won't ignore these signs and these confluences that we're possibly going to continue short, at least for the session as a day trader, right, to head for these lows, maybe the previous daily low. But once this previous daily high is met, it will be a major negative for that. So I hope that was clear. I hope I haven't said too much that you can't understand. So let's go down to the M15 and see what opportunities may be available for today. So here on the M15, right, we've got that bearish leg as I mentioned. Then internally on the M15, we have this lower high, lower low here, right, where it left behind an M15 order block, which I wanted to use yesterday, right, once we had broken those London lows to maybe continue that bearish momentum. It didn't come back, it's left that behind, so this may come into play today. Not that I'm looking to trade directly from here, I'd wait for order flow, right, because we still may come back into more of a premium. At the moment, we have this scenario. We've created this range and this Asia session here overnight. Price now on London and Frankfurt open has come up and spiked above it. So we have buy side liquidity here from this X, okay? Buy side liquidity and SMC divergence. We have this high and this high, we have this low, and at the moment this high low, right, because DXY hasn't come below this low to sweep Asia. That indicates strength from DXY and possible weakness on EU, at least in the short term. So that would mean possible shorts from this area, because DXY may seek out this next buy side liquidity, which is the previous daily high. So this low could hold. We've got this M15 POI down here, right, with this order block and imbalance, which would be with trend to head lower, but we are in a discount, which is a negative. So we're just waiting to see what price is going to do here. Right, price has created these internal lows here now, and we've spiked up, taking this buy side liquidity as I mentioned. I'm just looking for direction. What I'll be looking for if we're going to get these shorts now is price to break below these lows here as a breaker structure, and then pull back, possibly corrective, to a low time frame order block with imbalance to then head lower, right? And I'd be targeting anywhere below these lows, right, because DXY may be targeting this previous daily high, and I'd hopefully want to meet my target by that previous daily high, because that would be a major negative for me. So breaker structure around here, possible inducement during the pullback around this point here, lower time frame order block with imbalance there, and I'll set my order stop loss just above the highs and aim somewhere down towards the previous daily low. So that's what my order would look like currently to go for a short. Now it would have to be after these lows are broken. I want momentum to come into the market, okay? Some good strong momentum to come into the market, and I'd want this previous daily high to still be intact. So if we were to get that bullish reaction from somewhere down here or here on DXY, I'd want it to break this high here, then pull back to then come and take out this previous daily high. Once this previous daily high buy side liquidity is taken out, it'd be a major negative for me. We'd have SMC divergence most likely as well. So the trade would start to look really negative from a discount. Partly the reason why I didn't take this trade as well. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting for to happen. Momentum, pull back, continue short, preferably with this buy side liquidity still intact from DXY for us to trade into as a target. I'm fine with price going higher. There are some negatives here to go long into, of course, as well, but we'll have to take that as it comes. If prices to go higher, I want it to take some sell side liquidity, right? Maybe if it comes down, takes these lows and then breaks upwards, then we can look for something to go up with some order flow. But I don't see the buys as clearly right now. After we take this previous daily high, the buys will look much better because price then is more motivated to come back down now. We'll see how that goes. As much as I want the buys preferably from this area, we've taken high time frame buy side liquidity, but I want to see some intraday sell side liquidity swept and momentum to come in, bullish momentum to come in, because currently we don't have any. This isn't bullish momentum, right? This is just a stacking of liquidity, and we've currently only swept buy side liquidity. So that's my thoughts on that. I hope that was clear. I hope you gained value. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.